Good morning, you beautiful brave hearts. Okay, so the one a day that I'm going to do here this morning, okay, is abnormal is the new normal. Why would you ever want to fit in? Please give this some real thought this morning. Why do you want to fit in? Oh, I remember that you were unique when you were a toddler. You had your own personality. You had an imagination, which is the greatest gift that any human being can have. And then once you started turning into a teenager, okay, all you wanted to do was fit in, okay? Just fit in. Well, remember something. If you're going to fit in, you're going to get done in. If you want to fit in, then that means that you have to be part of the majority. And we know that the majority, and this is fact, the majority is in the present moment 2 to 5% of the day. I mean, how much do you think you're going to get done? I mean, that means that 95 to 98% of the day, you're acting like everyone else, being everything else, never being yourself. Now, you can believe this or not believe this, but guess what? I am a rebel. I am a rebel. I will come up against everything that does not fit into my wheelhouse, and that's that. I do not care what people think, because most people do not think. But at the same point, guess what? I'm heart-based. Everything comes up through my heart, so I'm going to do what's best for me. And when you do what's best for you and you do it through your heart, not through your mind, which is usually a landmine, what's going to happen is guess what? Even if you end up pissing somebody off, it's only because, guess what? They're going to go, well, you're selfish because you need to live my life. You need to fit in with the rest of us. Well, I'm never going to fit in with the majority because guess what? Let's take a look at what the majority's all got going on here. It's so good, isn't it? It's so wonderful. 1 out of every 2 people will be suffering from cancer to the point that their life will be threatened. Okay? Threatened. Okay, 60% of the population will suffer from heart disease. Right now, 88% of the population in North America is pre-diabetic. Isn't that cool? And this is all because of sugar and flour and dairy and all of the foods that never existed 90 years ago, because 90% of all the diseases that exist today, okay, are caused from the 90% of the foods that people eat that never existed, okay? Great awakening to you too, and bless you, okay? So here's the deal, okay? I just want to tell you this. Conform to the norm. Listen to me. I will never, ever follow government. I will never listen to government. I mean, bylaws aren't even laws. They're just rules for fools, okay? During that whole COVID lockdown, I was threatened all the time with tickets. I said, well, I don't care. Wallpaper my whole living room if you want. The reality is this, is if you want to be normal, okay, then you're going to be sick. If you want to be normal, okay, this is what happens. You go to the doctor, and the doctor goes, well, for a 40-year-old, you're doing great. Well, guess what? Most 40-year-olds are rotting out. Most 40-year-olds are already over the hill, right? I'll be 67 years old, and I'm just getting started. And I mean, I'm just getting started. You know, people will say, well, he's arrogant, you know, and he talks too much or he talks too bold. But the reality is this, you don't even know it, but the majority of the population are victims. The majority of the population, as soon as you tell them the truth, okay, they get all upset, okay, they get offended. Yes or no? Your family would get offended if you actually came from your heart and told them the God's truth to try to help them in most cases. And that's the deal. And understand this. If you want to go to the schools that the normal people go to, then guess what? Then just expect to be sick for life, because you get out of school, you don't know how to feed yourself, you don't know how to love yourself, which means you don't know how to feed another person or love another person, okay? You don't know how to create a business, and you definitely don't know how to make money, because the majority of the population have poverty consciousness. Okay, money's dirty. Oh God, you know, they think it's so hard. Well, the reason why is because they're not abnormal. If you are abnormal and you lived your passion, you lived your purpose, you live your dreams, you mind your own business, and you know that you're here for you. You're here to expand your consciousness. But guess what? I already told you. It's very rare to find somebody in the present moment for more than 5% of the day. Think about all the things that you do on an unconscious level. Well, remember something. I spend most of my time staying conscious because I have a slight smile on my face. Also, I'm connected to my breath, and I know that I'm breathing. I know that I'm alive. I know I was created by God Almighty, and there'll be no man that I will ever bow or humble myself down to. That will never happen in this lifetime. It's never going to happen. So you can say, oh my God, that person's arrogant, or that person is, well, guess what? They're just trying to break away from the herd. The herd's going to the butcher. Nobody noticed that? Okay, let me just ask you a question. I have not went to surgery. I have not had any surgery, okay? I have not had a broken bone. I had a fractured bone once when I was trying to show off on my bicycle, on my son's bicycle. But the reality is this: I don't go to surgery. I'm not on drugs. I'm never going to need drugs. And if I need surgery, I very much doubt that, because I don't even think I'll ever end up in a car accident, because whether you believe it or not, your imagination is the creation of everything. Your imagination is the creation of everything. Do you get this? And you put yourself in harm's way when you decide you want to be a normal person. And when you're a normal person, guess what? You eat like crap. When I can't even ask somebody, so what's your diet like? Oh, I've got a great diet. Yeah, compared to everyone else that's got a great diet. I have a great diet. My diet is a great diet. It is based on living foods, okay? Because that's what you want to bring in your body, is high vibrational foods. Understand this. Don't believe me, okay? But only 1 out of 10,000 people ever reach total consciousness on this planet, okay? Now, whether you believe this or not, go do some homework. These are actual studies. 80% of the population is incapable of critical thinking. 20% are capable of critical thinking. But guess what? You'd have to actually invest time and money and go brainwash yourself. You know what? You are going to do everything today from the belief systems, from mommy and daddy, and from all the ruling, schooling, and fooling that you got. And that's what you are. You think your personality is something that you were given when your spirit came down here. Well, it wasn't. It wasn't something that was given. It was something that was force-fed down your throat. Oh, yeah? Well, then why aren't you happy? Why aren't you healthy? Why aren't you wealthy? Okay? And I'll tell you something. I'm not talking about wealthy that I'm going around trying to make all this money. I'm wealthy on all levels. Okay? And the more that you honor, love, and respect yourself and fill up your own heart, the less you're going to need of the material world. But that doesn't mean that you can't have a beautiful home with a pool. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't have a beautiful life. You know, you don't have to live in some rat hole. You don't have to live in a city where everybody's crunched in. I mean, when you live in the city, what do you think? You think that the world's overpopulated. My God, you know what? We don't even think anymore. I mean, we throw away more food than we eat, okay? There's water everywhere, okay? And as far as the gasoline, petroleum, we're not running out of that. You know, that's being made on a constant. We could never use all the petroleum that's in the ground. So please, guys, I don't believe anything that comes out of the mouths of the majority, and I don't believe anything that comes out of the mouths of the government or anything that's out there. I have to go inside here. I'm going to tell you something right now. Today I start a whole life coach certification. I do have the most intense boot camp on an emotional and nutritional. Listen, I know what I'm talking about. I believe that I'm one of the top in the business, and I know that. I've earned it. And the reality is, in this 9-day course, when people come to take my whole life coach, their whole life changes by the 3rd day. Don't believe me, but wait until you hear the testimonials. And then after I finish this, okay, in 11 days from now, my son, Dr. Sage Wolfe, will teach the Wolfe Non-Surgical, which is the most powerful body work. I would like to be challenged on that. We give a money-back guarantee. How about people not going for the surgery that they're booked for? We will actually promise that, okay? Now, we don't promise cures because there's no such thing as a cure. The only thing that is a cure is you changing your mind, changing your personality. That the reality is that you create everything. You create everything. So if you can create a disease on an unconscious level, what could you do if you were actually conscious? If you want to test us out, I'll be in Stuart, Florida here for another 12 days. We will be doing non-surgical treatments. We will be doing consultations. My son, Dr. Sage Wolfe, is going to be doing the same. He's coming on the 6th, and he'll be doing it all day long from the 6th to the 12th, and then he'll be here for another 2 weeks in Stuart, Florida. And then I'm going to tell you something where we're going to be going. We're going to be going all over the world. Now, I closed my clinic down in Mexico. Why'd I do that? Well, because it was a 20-room clinic and it was open to everyone. When I open up this next clinic in 6 months from now, it'll be a 5-star clinic, and it will be for people, and it will, guess what it's going to be for? It's actually only going to be for a very small percentage. It'll be for the people that are awake, because they're going to go, wow, I'm going to go there for anywhere from a week to 3 weeks, and I'm going to get trained. I'm going to get trained on how to do non-surgical. I'm going to get trained on what proper nutrition is. I'm going to get trained on how to love myself. I'm going to get trained on the Wolfe Non-Surgical. I'm going to get trained on belly button therapy, clapping, how to do proper exercise. I'm going to get trained on how to rewrite my mind, how to master my mind. I'm going to get trained on how to make my own food. I'm going to get trained on taking my life back. So that's what we're going to be doing when we open up this new clinic. But for the next 5 months, okay, we're going to be traveling the world, and my son, Dr. Sage Wolfe, will come to you and do a personal treatment and training. He'll come to you for anywhere from 6 to 7 days. He'll teach your family how to do the most powerful body work in the world. I'm telling you that in 6 days, 7 days, you'll be able to do more than that body worker, that practitioner. Listen, chiropractic is great. You can push the joint back in. It's going to pop back out because the dehydration and the scar tissue. We're going to teach you how to actually use Wolfe Non-Surgical with your elbow, and the joint's going to come back in and it's going to stay there. How would you like to have every joint in the body, no stiffness at all, no inflammation at all, no swelling at all, because there's no blocks in there of calcium scar tissue? We can teach anybody how to do that. We teach people from medical doctors to chiropractors to lay people. Understand, you're not stupid. They said you were stupid, you were dumb. And how they did it is when you went to school, they used big words like Greek words all the time, like arthritis, fibromyalgia. You know, nobody knows what these things mean, right? So as long as I use big words and I talk in Greek, then it's just saying that you, guess what? You're dumb. You're ignorant. Well, you're not. They made us ignorant. Everybody has the ability to heal from any disease, because there are no diseases, there are only symptoms, and it's from going to practitioners that are programmed to manage your pain and not get rid of your pain or teach you that pain is a GPS. I know what I'm talking about. I don't mind being challenged. If there's any doctor, medical doctor, chiropractor, anybody wants to challenge me on anything, please give me a call at 469-861-9454. We'll go together and we'll do an actual show together, not to put each other down, but we can challenge each other. And I'm going to tell you something. The things I say, they're not like anybody else. I do not talk like anybody else. And I know I don't. And guess what? People don't like that. People don't like when somebody says, you don't have to have cancer. You don't have to have arthritis. There's no such thing as depression. There's only anxiety. So understand that. You know what? Everything is so full of BS out there. Even natural health practitioners will tell you that you have a gut-brain disconnection, but no, it's not. It's a large intestine-brain disconnection. Your large intestine is everything, but how many people focus on that? How many people know that daily cleansing gently is all you have to do to be healthy forever, wealthy forever? That's all you have to do. You don't have to wait until you feel like crap and take yourself to the hospital, or feel like crap and then do a deep cleanse and then feel like more crap. Why don't you just lovingly, gentle steps, take care of yourself every day and never be sick? Never be sick, because every sickness is a disease. And when you're sick, it's your body trying to get well because you polluted yourself on an emotional and physical level. End of story. And I know what I'm talking about. Where's your new clinic opening? That's going to be a surprise. Right now, there's actually a state in the United States that is courting us, and they are asking us if we would like to come, and they are thinking of giving us a building and land, because maybe Jim Gale, who is the gentleman about the land of plenty, to teach you how to grow your own garden from your lawn. We're going to be teaming up with a bunch of people, because we're going to be actually what we call a higher learning school university, because you can actually come to us and get your doctorate in natural medicine. You can get your doctorate in indigenous medicine. You know, it's like this. Either you love me or you're going to hate me, because you're going to go, who in the hell does he think he is? Well, I'll tell you who I am. I'm Dr. Daryl Wolfe, and guess what? I want to show you that you have all the power in the world inside here. It's an understanding, not an understanding, because you'll never stand under anybody. You'll never stand under me. When you talk to me, if you ever call me, just say, hi, Daryl, hi, Dr. Wolfe, whatever you want to say, but don't be nervous, because guess what? I poop just like you, and I'm there to serve you. That's right. And don't rush your questions. Don't push yourself. Don't go, oh my God, you're so much busier than me. Never put anybody above you again, because you're putting yourself below. When you come to me, it's eye to eye. Okay? We're going to look at each other. We're going to help each other. We're going to nourish each other. If you think this is a sales pitch, well, why don't you ask the thousands of people that actually come to me and take my courses, my trainings? We have medical doctors coming and taking our courses, but we have lay people now that have successful businesses, and they're living their passion, their dreams. All right? And you don't have to use hundreds of thousands of dollars to do this. You can come and you can learn this. In a 22-day training, I can have you set up with your own business. And I can guarantee you this, that if somebody wants their money back for a consultation or even body work that you did, I'll pay it, because I already know you're a genius. You're the only one that doesn't know that you're a genius. There's genius inside of every one of us. Why did you close your center in Mexico? Why? Because it was a 3-star resort, and because it was 220 rooms, shut down stage 4 inflammation. It'll help bones regrow. Do you understand? It will decalcify the mitochondria. There's no more powerful device in the world. That device is 130 pounds. It's $125,000. There's no way around it. Okay, there's no stronger energy medicine device. You know, everybody's talking about the med bed. What a bunch of BS, the med bed. You know what? I'm going to tell you something. Everything is about vibration, and it's about frequency. And the Cellsonic is the most powerful device on the planet, and we've proven that. Anyways, let me go back to this. So I opened up a 20-room clinic in Mexico a year and a half ago. Did you know that in a year and a half, we trained 350 people to be practitioners? Okay, and they came from all over the world, and they came from all walks of life. And understand, it was interesting. It really got my game on. But understand something, we have to be very selective. I can go on here, and if I allow TikTok to come on, I'll be having people tell me to go burn in hell. I'll be having people come on and go, you're a fraud, you want to rip people off. I'm not going to put up with that anymore. I've been in the health business since I started when I was 17 years old. I hitchhiked to Gary, Indiana to become a colon therapist because my grandfather had colon cancer. And I will tell you right now, I will not be disrespected, and I will not disrespect anybody else. And the day that you learn to respect yourself, you'll learn to respect others. Because when we stop judging ourselves, we stop judging others. When we stop hating our life, we stop hating the lives of others. And understand, the majority of the population lives on an unconscious level. Did you get what I said? They're unconscious of what they say, what they do, what they drink, what they think. Really? You don't believe me? Well, then why would you take antibiotics when it's a form of chemo? Why would you do radiation when you are actually burning the tissue? Why would you do chemo when it's actually mustard gas? Why? And also, do you understand that the cause of cancer is lack of oxygen? So start breathing. Why don't we just learn how to create the perfect day from the moment we wake up on an emotional and physical level? You know what? I teach that. Today I start a course called Whole Life Coach, and guess what? We're doing it all over the world. Let me just tell you something right now. So we're in Stuart, Florida. From here we go to McKinney, Texas. Then we go to Barrie, Ontario, Chicago, Illinois next, Calgary, Alberta, Coffs Harbour, Australia. Okay, that is what we're doing. And by the time this is done, I'll be opening up a new clinic. And I don't know exactly where, because we are actually being courted by 3 different groups that want us to set up in their country. Okay, That's that. So the reality is you need to understand something. There's a genius inside of you. You need to become your own practitioner. You need to become your own lover. You heard what I said. You need to become your own lover. From now on, let's see if you can just get through this whole week without getting upset with someone because they didn't hug you, they didn't kiss you, or because they didn't tell you how valuable you were. What if you were totally valuable to yourself? What if you had total honor and respect for yourself? Well, you would respect and honor everyone else. But as long as you believe that your family, the world owes you, okay, on a financial, emotional level, then you are going to get upset a lot and you're going to be sick. We are emotional beings and we need to learn how to master that. I've got 3 courses, actually 4. Whole Life Coach, which is my most intense emotional, nutritional, physical course. It's 9 days. Okay, we have another one called Braveheart Health and Healing Circle we're doing in Australia. Believe it or not, in Australia, we're blowing up. Isn't that something, right? So anyways, that one is just a 7-day course where we get in a circle and where people want to come together because guess what? They're at the point that they want to off themselves emotionally and physically, and that'll change within 3 days. Understand something. You're only the way you are because of the beliefs that you have that aren't even yours. If every belief that you had, prominent, dominant belief that's stored in your subconscious, was based on unconditional love for yourself, you would have everything that you want because everything that you want is here until you limit yourself with your limiting beliefs. Oh, and guess what? You're not even conscious of your own personality. And that's the God's truth. When somebody can say to you, hey, did you see how you talked to me? Did you see what you just did? And you're going to go, no, I didn't. This is who I am. Or this person, how about this person? This is who I am. No, it's not. It's not who you are. You are a beautiful, shining star. You got to go in and do a rewrite. Okay, and everybody's an actor. I'm an actor. I know it. Okay, but I'm an actor, and I'm the leading star of my life. I write, I direct, I produce my day. I produce the moment. So what am I going to do in that moment? I'm going to own it. I'm going to own the moment. I'm going to own every bloody moment. You will not catch me not living in the present moment. And to learn how to live in the present moment, that means that you don't have any fear. And you're going to go, bullshit, you've got fear. No, I don't. I don't have fear. I know that the God that created the universe loves me unconditionally. I know that my spirit is eternal. And I know that this is a life-threatening, fun-filled adventure down here where everybody lies to themselves and everybody else because you have to protect yourself when you don't have beliefs that respect and honor yourself. That's it. I know that through studies, and they're true, 80% of the population will never have critical thinking. I know that the other 20%, unless they go and get boot camp training on how to erase and replace beliefs and change their personality, well, they're never going to change their reality. So I'm going to change my personality by 1% every day, and I'll become a new person every 100 days, and I'm going to keep doing it because I am an infinite spirit. Go to braveheartnation.com. Look, I'm going to tell you what I've got for you. Go to braveheartnation.com if you're really serious about changing your life. Go in there and take a look. We'll come for a personal treatment training to your home, anywhere around the world, Dr. Sage Wolfe or my master trainers. We'll come to your clinic and we will certify you. We will certify you. And if you want, you can go all the way and get your doctorate in indigenous medicine or doctorate of natural medicine. And people are going to go, who is he to give out that? Well, guess what? Who am I? Well, I was the one who was actually approached by the schools of higher learning and told I could do it. So thank you very much. And then you're going to tell me that a medical doctor is a doctor. They're not. They're a physician, they're a surgeon, and they know nothing about natural health. I can give a natural health doctorate because I have the best training programs, which it isn't me. Other groups that are way bigger than me have decided this. So now guess what? We are opening up a university where people are going to be able to come and they're going to be able to do a training right from becoming a whole life coach or a Wolfe Non-Surgical therapist, okay, or a pelvic pain-free pregnancy specialist, or they can go all the way and get their doctorate. Yeah. So the reality is the world is your oyster, but only if you know that you deserve it. Okay, most of you are going to live in the same hovel. You're going to keep the same job. And most of you believe that, you know, if you're not suffering, you're not alive. If you're not in pain, you're not alive. And understand, pain is just a GPS that was supposed to tell you when you're out of alignment. But you believe, not you, and I'm not saying you, but the majority believes that, guess what? Pain is something that you kill. So go ahead and kill the pain. You're going to kill yourself. And that's what they want you to do. They want you to kill yourself slowly, because there is an entity that lives off this planet, that lives on this planet, that lives off of you and me. And every bit of suffering that we do, it makes it even stronger and stronger. Do you understand? Stronger and stronger. And guess what? And you're going to get weaker and weaker. And understand something. I have the flexibility of an 18-year-old. And guess what? You can believe it or not. And I can give you that flexibility in your mind and in your body. Okay? You're going to have to come and become an open book, okay? And say that my heart is open, my mind is open. I'm here to learn. I'm not here to do anything except to teach you unconditional love and care for yourself. And guess what? Most of you will refuse it. You're programmed to hurt yourself and hurt others. Hurt people, hurt people. And there's a lot of hurt people, because the only virus that I see right now is called victimitis. Okay? I can't have this. I can't do that. That's all people say. What about I can do this and I will have that? But guess what? Until you believe that you deserve something, you're never going to observe something. So the reality is the more you believe you're a sinner, the more you believe you're a loser, the more that you believe you're a failure and you allow people to make you believe that, the more you're going to leave on the table. And understand something. None of us need to steal from each other. This planet is abundant. When you start to focus on only love, that's all you'll see. When you start to focus on abundance, whether it's financial, whether it's health, whether it's love, you're going to find it. But until you unconditionally and totally fill up your own heart, you've got one hell of a bumpy road. And as long as you make your dog, your cat, your children, your grandchildren, your husband, your wife responsible for telling you that you're worthy and that they love you, you'll have love ransom going on and you will be in jail, and that will be an emotional jail. I do not need anyone to tell me they love me today. I will unconditionally love myself and the world. And those people that do not care for me, do not like me, or even attack me, I will show them unconditional love too. This is how we win against these psychos. We can only win against these psychos. Let me tell you something. War, what is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Say it again. War, what is it good for? Whether it's war with yourself, war with your family, war with your neighbors, war with other countries. And understand something. I just want to thank everybody for going to war and going to get all the gold and the oil and the reserves and everything else, because that's all we're doing. They're using us. And then we come home without our limbs. We come home with shell shock, and they call it PTSD. It's shell shock. Understand something. And the majority of the population from COVID has shell shock still. And I can see it. People can't make decisions. You should see this. The decision making for the majority of the population is down, okay, by I would say about 70%, okay? First we had the COVID, now we got the so-called war, then we'll have COVID again coming this fall. It won't be COVID, it'll have a new name, okay? But it's the same old BS, dysfunctional belief system. And understand, if you really knew, why don't you go look up what a virus is? It means toxin in the dictionary. Okay, how does a toxin jump 6 feet? Toxins aren't even alive. Okay, so the reality is what are we going to do when 80% of the population will never have critical thinking, mind our own business, and go for everything that we want? And it doesn't mean we're taking from anyone, because there's abundance everywhere once you have abundant love for yourself and everyone else. Go to braveheartnation.com and check out all my stuff. Personal treatment and trainings will come anywhere around the world. We'll certify you in your home. We'll come to your clinic, okay? Or go to my library. It is the biggest self-care, self-love library. It cost us $250,000 to make it. So go there and enjoy it. All these master classes are free. Ones that you would have to pay everywhere. I've got Braveheart Online Emotional Intelligence. That'll help change your life. It'll wake you up to the fact that you are not a sinner, you're a winner, that you're not a loser or a boozer, that you're beautiful, and you just went off track. Just know this. Let yourself off the hook. Forgive yourself for everything that you've ever done or anything that you're going to do. And forgive everyone else. It doesn't mean that you have to forgive someone that physically or emotionally abuses you. No, don't. You don't have to. That it doesn't mean that you forgive them and go live with them again or hang around with them, but forgive them and then focus on people that don't abuse you, don't use you, okay, but people that challenge you to become a higher vibrational being. Stop hanging around with people that are low vibrational. Stop hanging around with people that eat the way you don't want to eat, think the way you don't want to think, drink the way you don't want to drink, or have habits that you know that are killing you. For God's sakes, make a decision for you today. Have a beautiful day, Bravehearts. God bless everyone. And I mean, God bless everyone.